Foster. President Trump and Joe Biden are on stage tonight in Cleveland for the first of 3 presidential debates.
For Joe Biden, his debate plan is simple, driving home the point that the November election is a referendum on President Trump. For the president, his goal is to use the debates to make the point that this is a choice election and remind voters what he's done and explain what he'll do that's new in his second term.
Fox's John Decker. Tonight's debate's moderated by Fox News Sunday host Chris Wallace. And the president announces a plan for more 15-minute coronavirus testing.
Abbott Labs is providing about 150 million of the tests for distribution.
100 million rapid point-of-care tests will be given to states and territories to support efforts to reopen their economies and schools.
The rest are earmarked for nursing homes, hospice facilities, and historically black colleges.
Fox's Ralph Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Fox News Channel. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The Centers and Marion County's Children's Alliance are holding a drive through Recovery Resource event at the Centers on September 26th from 10 to 1. Get recovery in a bag for Recovery Month.
Need help at home? On Wednesday, September 30th at 8:50 a.m., Jim Haskins with Touching Hearts at Home will be my guest. You will learn how the Compassionate Care team will help with personal care, Alzheimer's dementia care, housekeeping, meal prep, and transportation. Of course, Touching Hearts at Home follows all the CDC and state guidelines for COVID-19. Again, that's Wednesday the 30th at 8:50 a.m. It's information you can use from Touching Hearts at Home and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
On September 29th at 10:30 a.m., I will have guests from the College of Central Florida telling our listeners that the College of Central Florida is offering scholarships for short-term, in-demand programs intended to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may qualify to attend with no tuition cost. Again, that's the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Education news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. WOCA. Ocala.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Roadrunners details your vehicle. He comes to you. 704-728-7537. 704-728-7537. A job done right. 704-728-7537.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast,
Yum, yum.
a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be humid with clouds and a little sunshine. Look for a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 86 to 90. Partly cloudy and humid tonight with a couple of showers. Low 67 to 73. Then a less humid day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 79 to 83. Mostly sunny and pleasant Thursday. High 80 to 84. Another nice day Friday with sun and some clouds and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
The Centers recognizes September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. If you need someone to talk to, please call us at 352-291-5555.
WOCA.
That's just what you do, man. When you love someone, you know that I will be the light to always be there at your side. I just wanna tell you why. And this is how it goes. I wait to be the one to catch you when you're falling. Always, I'll be the one to answer when you're calling. Well, you know I get so lonely, but with you I never feel alone. I guess that's how it is, man. When you love someone, you know I'm out here working. You know I do it all for you. Nobody's perfect, they say. You know that I will be the light to always be there at your side. I just wanna tell you why. And this is how it goes. I wait to be the one to catch you when you're falling.
And good morning. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we say good morning on this Tuesday. Oh, yeah, it feels just as good. 73 degrees out there currently as we're 7:38, welcoming you to the show and welcoming you to the day this Tuesday as we're winding down this month of September now. September 29th overall. I had to double check. Yes, 28th, 29th, and tomorrow the 30th, which means October right around the corner there on Thursday. As we do say good morning to you. It was pleasant yesterday with a little bit more humidity. Today it feels just a little bit less humidity. Still the temperature right around nice and cool. 73 degrees as it's got some blue skies up there with some other clouds peppered in between. It's a beautiful sunrise, if you got to catch it. High today is 85 degrees, like we said, sitting at 73 right now, so it's going to be a little bit warm and sticky, kind of like it was yesterday at times before the rain came in. Today, there is a chance of showers and thunderstorms that are set up poised to happen around 3 p.m., and then showers and likely with a thunderstorm after 3 p.m. near 5 p.m., as that'll bleed into tonight, as they're talking about then an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight as late as 2 a.m., with an expectation of a lot of precipitation as rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible, even more than that, with the opportunity for thunderstorms. But this is it. This is the push of the cold front to move its way through, to drag out this little bit of subtropical weather, I guess you consider it to be, as it does make its way out tonight. Oh man, we wake up tomorrow with the expectations of having it being nice, sunny, and clear, and a lot cooler, a lot more of that humidity gone. As we see Wednesday's forecast for tomorrow, high near 79, a little bit breezy with a north wind around 7 to 10 miles per hour. And then for your Wednesday night, as they've gotten it even cooler now, 58 degrees for the low tomorrow once this front moves through. So with that in mind, even tonight they're talking about, with all this rain and weather kind of moving itself through, that the low itself tonight will come in fairly low with 61 degrees tonight, and then we get below 60 tomorrow, Wednesday night. Now tomorrow's high 79, beautiful, a little chilly in the morning like we said for Thursday, but then a high of 82, so back in the 80s, low 80s, which is perfect for this time of year, and then low of 60 on Thursday night. But sunshine Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, bleeding into the weekend with low 80s and cool nights and warm days. So lots of good weather to look forward to. And it's been kind of ironic in a way. I know tomorrow's Wednesday, and that's the official last day of September. But I got to tell you, if you pay attention, it feels as if about every month that we've finished, there has been some kind of rain to move through the final day of the month to basically then not rain or be different moving into the first day of the new month. If you pay attention, it's weird. It's like the Mother Nature is cleansing our conception of time anyway with the end of a month. But anyway, we got a good show for you lined up for this Tuesday. You know you like Tuesdays, as we get you started with some Ocala quick minute news and the conversation going with some good topics to bring you to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Life South Community Blood Centers with your Director of Retention and Recruitment, Galen, as we discuss the Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning, as we talk a little bit about that, as well as some other sports, as Major League Baseball's playoffs are getting underway. And, we're going to talk about where to go to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood as well. As we'll be talking with him at the 8 o'clock hour. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll bring you some more of Ocala Quick Minute News and some other topics to keep conversation going to get to the top of the 9 o'clock hour to be your Tuesdays in the Garden with Caroline Baldwin, as we'll have her in the studio. As we know, y'all look forward to our gardening show here on Tuesdays. We got a little bit to talk about with weather. We got a little bit to talk about with the changing season and what it means for October and what it means for your lawn, what it means for your back patio plants and trees and even fruit trees. There's been some questions that's been brought up to me. It's like when it comes to fruit trees and we start to get this really cool weather with 58 degrees, what does that mean? What does that mean when it comes to bear fruit for later on in the year, into the next year? So stay tuned at 9 o'clock with In the Garden with Caroline, Master Gardener Caroline Baldwin, right here in the studio. And then following that, as we get to the top of the 10 o'clock hour, Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, Auto Repair with Personal Care. We'll have him in the studio to answer any questions that you have when it comes to your automobile or anything that you think you might have to have worked on, or any questions or conniptions that you have with the automobile that you drive. Either way, and we might even get some good topic of conversation like we had before when we were discussing, last week, just how much more of the conversation is driven towards the the alternative fuel type vehicles, looking at like electric vehicles and all that stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about that with Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, right here, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. So 622-9622. That's the number to call to talk to Carol Ann in our gardening show. And 622-9622, the number to call to talk to Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive. As we bring you your Tuesday show after Matt Gibbs, do stay tuned because we're not finished yet as we take you to the top of the 11 o'clock hour to round out our show from the College of Central Florida, right here in the studio. Higher education happenings. We'll be talking about the opportunities there are to get educated in certain fields that can benefit you after everything that has gone rampant with COVID-19's pandemic in this year, for the change in career, for the change in attitude, for what you can see yourself doing to earn that living, to move forward from this tumultuous time and keep moving forward. And that's how winning is done. As we talk with the College of Central Florida with higher education happenings and certain things that have impacted, education and the workforce and everything else that comes along with what's the best concepts and ideas for education now to further yourself and your career amid COVID-19 pandemic. So looking good there overall for a good show for you for this Tuesday as we pretty much move on here now. 15 minutes before the top of the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to bring it to you. It is now time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Well, that's right. Today is Tuesday, September 29th. The first debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden takes place in Cleveland, Ohio. Florida Senator Rick Scott thinks President Donald Trump will focus on the country's economic performance.
And he's going to get to brag about what he's done the last 4 years. I think that's how the debate's going to go. I think Joe Biden's going to have a very difficult time explaining his past.
Scott predicts President Donald Trump will also bring up Biden's son, Hunter. Florida is reporting fewer than 1,000 new coronavirus cases as the state moves into phase 3 of reopening. The Department of Health announced 738 new COVID-19 infections yesterday, along with 5 new resident deaths. Both increases are the lowest in the Florida we've seen in months. Fort Lauderdale's mayor is promising to address what he calls a concerning sight after the governor announced last week that bars could reopen. Bars in Fort Lauderdale were packed over the weekend, and there were few signs of social distancing. Mayor Dean Trantelis says it was like a dam had been unleashed, and he promises changes are coming. Universal Orlando Resort is introducing what it calls Florida's fastest and tallest launch roller coaster, as riders of the Jurassic World Velocicoaster will be launched over 150 feet into the air and reach speeds of 70 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. The dinosaur-themed ride will open up at Universal's Island of Adventure next year. In September, it's still September, but Floridians are already voting in the November election.
More than 5 million vote-by-mail ballots have been requested in Florida. Nearly 7,500 have already been returned. Democrats hold the early lead, returning about 3,600 ballots compared to 2,300 for Republicans. In Florida, ballots must be received by a local elections office no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day, so the post office suggests mailing it at least 1 week ahead. I'm Rick Hoschel.
State wildlife officers are warning residents in Seminole County to keep a close eye on their pets after a dog was killed by a bear in Sanford. The Florida Wildlife Commission is reminding pet owners to keep dogs on leashes and others indoors as often as possible, as more bears have been seen in the area in recent weeks. Residents should also make sure that the outdoor trash cans and receptacles are secured, as they do attract bears. Forecasters are tracking what they see as a disturbance in Northwest Caribbean. They could be next named storm. It's been given a 30% chance of developing into a tropical depression over the next 5 days. It's too soon to tell if the system will affect Florida. As in sports, the Tampa Bay Lightning are celebrating their second Stanley Cup title. Blake Coleman and Braden Point scored as the Bolts beat the Dallas Stars 2-0 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton. Tampa Bay defensive Victor Hedman says it's a very, very special moment.
So many emotions. It's not going to be able to. It's going to take months, maybe. For it to sink in, but we're going to be champions forever. We're going to be on that cup, forever.
As the Lightning earned their first cup back in 2004. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We'll take a short little break, and we'll be back right after this. Good morning, AM Ocala Live.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you. There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40 just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking. Free breakfast.
Yum, yum.
A swimming pool. A kiddie pool. And veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be humid with clouds and a little sunshine. Look for a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 86 to 90. Partly cloudy and humid tonight with a couple of showers. Low 67 to 73. Then a less humid day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 79 to 83. Mostly sunny and pleasant Thursday. High 80 to 84. Another nice day Friday with sun and some clouds and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Roadrunners details your vehicle. He comes to you. 704-728-7537. 704-728-7537. A job done right. 704-728-7537. The Centers recognizes September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. If you need someone to talk to, please call us at 352-291-5555.
WOCA.
Ocala.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Good morning. Welcome back to the show. AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. We're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We're streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, 7:54, 6 minutes before the top of the 8 o'clock hour, as we're welcoming you to a fine day here with an expectation of lots of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon and late evening. But this is that frontal bound push that'll give us some rain, like we said, for the afternoon, late evening. That'll leave us waking up tomorrow with some very cool temperatures and some sunny skies. Right now, it's beautiful out there, with a little bit on the radar making its way here from the west out over the Gulf this way. And as the day heats up, with a high of 85 today, currently just 73 degrees right now, as very humid out there as the humidity's increased just a little bit. So with that in mind, 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms for today, but then cool tonight as the rain makes its way out of here. 61 degrees for the low tonight, sunny skies tomorrow, little breezy, 7 to 10 miles an hour. So a lot of good stuff there. As we welcome you to the show, as we're coming up on 8 o'clock before the top of the 8 o'clock hour, it was a little fascinating. I thought this was something to look at it before we get into something else, and it's a record. It's weird, and I thought it deserved just a little attention. Because I've been to Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, beautiful out there in California, as a body of a drowned man found at 1,565 feet deep in Lake Tahoe, the deepest recovery in U.S. history. So the body of a 29-year-old man went missing while boating on Lake Tahoe in August. Was found this past Saturday at 1,565, 1,500 feet, the deepest recovery ever recorded in the United States. It says Bruce's Legacy, a nonprofit organization that specializes in underwater body recovery, and its founder, Keith Cormison, were recruited by the family of Ryan Normoyle. After several days of searching with no results, the recovery at Lake Tahoe, the second deepest lake in the United States and the fourth deepest in North America, with a maximum depth, they say, of almost 1,645 feet deep, was the deepest in American history. It says the previous deep record in Lake Tahoe was on September 17, 2018, when Douglas Sheriff's Office Marine Unit recovered a body from 1,062 feet below. The recovery ended more than a month after searching for Normoyle. It says on August 10th, police say he rented a boat, and the boat was washed ashore with Glenbrook without its rentee. Investigators found that Normoyle recorded himself jumping off the boat, and that the boat had been left in gear, moving away from him slowly, as he was unable to swim fast enough to catch up to it before drowning. Now, GPS data provided the South Lake Tahoe Police and Douglas County Sheriff's Office with the possible location of the body, but search efforts were unsuccessful. Well, the new search began last Thursday as with Bruce's Legacy's, the nonprofit, look for body recovery. The Douglas Sheriff's Office, Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and South Lake Tahoe Fire Department. 2 days later, the body was located using GPS coordinates collected from his phone, according to officials, and then his body was retrieved on Monday. But that is hella deep. Found at 1,565 feet deep in Lake Tahoe. And the recovery at Lake Tahoe, the second deepest, was then, they said, back in 2018. Just incredible how deep not only that goes, but unfortunate, obviously, too, but just for them to be able to find a way to recover that. And then, yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was incredible, and it was worth just looking at there nonetheless as something interesting to it. As we know, we get into tonight with the first presidential debate, what to expect from the first presidential debate in Cleveland, Ohio, as Donald Trump and Joe Biden will square off Tuesday night in their first presidential debate. It says a matchup with potential to change, they say, the political race's trajectory as they seem to think. We don't know. It says the focus will be on the president's influence of the Supreme Court, his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, and the bombshell news report detailing his 6 years of tax avoidance. Now, Tuesday's face-off, the first of 3 debates between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden, will take place at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and will be moderated by Fox News host Chris Wallace. Biden's response was succinct Sunday when asked how he planned to win against Trump. He said, quote, "Just tell the truth." Now, the president, meanwhile, has for weeks portrayed Biden as lacking mental acuity. Trump's lowering his expectations for the former vice president, well, could backfire, they say. But more recently, Trump insisted that his opponent be drug tested, indicating without evidence that he believes any strong showing by Biden will be the result of a performance enhancer. Crazy. More AM Ocala Live coming back right after this. WOCA Ocala.
First presidential debates tonight in Cleveland. President Trump and Joe Biden taking questions from Fox News Sunday host Chris Wallace.
The candidates will have no pre-debate handshake. They'll be socially distanced, not wearing masks, and there will be a limited audience of less than 100 people as they get ready for the Chris Wallace topics: the candidates' records, the Supreme Court, the coronavirus, the economy, race and violence in America, and the integrity of the election.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. More than 1 million coronavirus deaths are now reported worldwide.
The World Health Organization's Emergencies Director Mike Ryan says even 1 million is likely an undercount.
The numbers that are currently reported probably represent an underestimate of those individuals who have either contracted COVID-19 or who have died as a cause of it.
Vice President Mike Pence saying the U.S. should expect cases to rise in the days ahead.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Fox News Channel. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News from a Southeast AgNet. During the past few months, despite the challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Cotton Council has been busy doing the business needed for the cotton industry. NCC Chairman Kent Fountain, a ginner from Surrency, Georgia, told us most of what they've been doing is virtual.
You know, we've done a lot virtually, and we've done a lot of virtual meetings with senators and congressional staff and Congress members through this, trying to move our agenda that the council has outlined a policy. And pretty much what that policy is in a nutshell is that, you know, the manufacturers have taken a huge hit through this, the U.S. textile industry, because when you shut down all retail for 2 or 3 months, it shuts them down. And so they've gone from doing pretty well to zero and now back up to probably 50% maybe now in their textiles. The second part was for our merchandisers to use a program that's already certificate credits, because they're having to hold this cotton longer, and it's more interest, more storage on them. And then the third was, as always, our growers, because as you well realize that the prices are still depressed. You know, we were getting back up to where we should have been with the phase one on trade after the tariffs crushed us, and then COVID happened. So that's been what we've been working on.
Hear more of Fountain's comments and learn how the NCC is continuing their work for producers on our website, southeastagnet.com.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast Agna.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be humid with clouds and a little sunshine. Look for a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 86 to 90. Partly cloudy and humid tonight with a couple of showers. Low 67 to 73. Then a less humid day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 79 to 83. Mostly sunny and pleasant Thursday. High 80 to 84. Another nice day Friday with sun and some clouds and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
WOCA. Ocala. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA. Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Back to the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. 5 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. It is now time for Life South Community Blood Centers with our good friend Galen. Happy Tuesday, Galen.
Hey, how you doing this morning, Adam?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. As we just brought you in here and a little bit off air, just to mention it right away, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champions, as they played a great game and then just an incredible season. Bittersweet for a lot of people who didn't get to see it live in their own hometown, but nonetheless, great moment for Tampa.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, they were the best team all season, really. They were always in the hunt. They were the best team last year and got knocked out in the first round. And I think they just got really good goaltending hot at the right time, and that's all it takes really in the Stanley Cup is to go on one of those long runs. And history will tell us whether or not what they think about this championship.
Right.
Whether the hardships of the bubble and all that brought with it is more powerful than winning, in front of fans.
Sure.
Right. Because that's really the other factor is what would have looked like if they were, playing on the road, in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Would that have changed anything? And history will tell us what they think about it, because as the players talk about it, things like that, then they'll tell us whether or not it's a bona fide championship. I mean, they played a full regular season virtually.
They did,
They're
yes.
just a few games short.
Right.
And then they played a full postseason. So you can't say that it was shortened in any way. So I again, we'll see. I think there are some real hardships they overcame, and I think history will say it's a absolutely legitimate championship.
I think so too. I think so too. Time will tell. I think the way you mentioned it with the way the regular season went and then having the full playoffs, obviously with the difference of, like you mentioned, for how it would be to travel and be on the road for some of these playoff series and everything else. But I think at the end of the day, there's a unique challenge that was in the backdrop, obviously, for the whole thing. Now, here's the question, my friend. I know.
Yeah, the season starts next month.
I was going to say, like, it's been...
Yeah, I think they're going to start in November. Yeah, or
right.
I think they're going to end up pushing it back till like late December, even January. But it's going to start all over again really quickly.
We know these guys are absolute competitors, and we're going to let them enjoy it, as today's the first day to know that, like, I think there's, the parade's going to get going at some point too. What did they mention on Twitter is that Wednesday at 5 p.m. there's a Stanley Cup boat parade on the Hillsborough River, as fans can watch from the River Walk. Following at 7:30, there's a celebration at Raymond James Stadium. I was going to say, my friend, if the next season's a month away, we know these guys are competitors, but at the same time, do you just kind of put your skates back on and go, all right, well, the pressure's a little bit off. Let's just go out there and play some hockey and then see what happens for this next season. How do you handle that mentally of coming off a pretty tumultuous season, coming off as a champion, then knowing, okay, now it's time to get back to it? What do you think? Do you think that...
Well, in the way hockey, the traditions that they have is every player, every member of the team gets to spend one day with the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Right? You get to spend one full day with the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And that's
so
a
cool.
day where they can bring it home. They can take it to their high school or whatever. They can party with it. They can do just about anything they want with it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to rush that a little bit, I think, this year. But I think, that's a moment. The Stanley Cup is by far and away the most prestigious trophy in all of sports. Nobody, when you play in the NFL, you play for a ring. When you play in the NBA, you just play to win the championship. You don't necessarily play to win the trophy, for example.
Yeah.
It's got so much. Your name goes on the trophy. The closest thing would be, maybe the U.S. Open because you get your name on the trophy.
Right.
But then it's just one name, whereas in the NHL, it's your entire team.
It's your entire team, which is very unique, which gives it that prestige. So I'm there with you on that because of what I've learned growing up. My dad being a fan of hockey, it is something. It is something different. When you say Stanley Cup, you're talking. The reason it's so large is because, like you mentioned, the names of everybody on that team goes in there. On it as history, and it's a look back is not the team name of that year, and then you got to go look up who was on that team. The names are on there, and it does hold prestige. Yeah, it is so cool too because having them being able to take it home for a day, each player gets to spend a full day with it. I do see that being abbreviated a little bit, but you never know. They might still be able to make it work for them. It just might be that you just got done with the regular season game. And you go home and the cup's there, one of those things. But nonetheless, my friend, what a great series actually to have watched. I was really hoping that they were going to take it there on Saturday night, but with the double overtime. But maybe things happen for certain reasons. So I'm glad that they were able to put it away last night. So tip of the hat there to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just awesome.
Dallas just couldn't skate with them early on. You could tell they didn't have much leg left.
Right.
And Tampa's just so deep, and they just skate so well.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just throwing the puck at the net.
Yeah.
Constant pressure.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
And that's how they played the whole. That's how they play. They just constant pressure. And they finally got. Once they took the lead, I was like, oh, this is over. So especially when they got a 2-goal lead with the way the Belshevsky, or however the heck he says his name. Can't read it. If you read it, you just like I don't have no idea how to pronounce that. It's way too many V's in one name.
Awesome. Hey, moving on, we've got so much sports going on, and last night was an interesting NFL matchup between the two reigning MVPs of the league, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. And I called it last night before kickoff. I said, as we were watching a little bit of the, we thought the game was going to be on, but it takes so much longer now for these games to start, as it was about 10-8, and she's like, oh, is it getting ready to get started? I said, yeah, they should come back and kick off. About 20 minutes later, they finally did. But within that time, they had the guys, obviously, there on the panel taking their pick, and everybody picked Baltimore. And I told her, I said, Patrick Mahomes on Monday night, and I know Lamar Jackson had a great season last year and everything else, I said, but with some of these scores here, I got at least 37-12 was my pick for Kansas City. Well, they ended up winning. I know Baltimore came back at some point. I didn't watch the second half, but they got within a touchdown. But between those two, I was going to say Patrick Mahomes now with his third year in the league, Kansas City is playing a level of football that is absolutely incredible. And I was going to ask you if you see them back in the Super Bowl this year.
Week 3. Injuries happen.
Sure.
They won it last year, so obviously they're the favorites coming back. They didn't lose much. So, yeah, I think they're the favorites, but injuries happen.
Yeah.
The NFL, Mahomes, tweaks his knee and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Game changer.
Yeah.
Or he falls funny and he separates his shoulder.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Now,
who knows?
Too
early.
Yes.
It's a week-to-week league.
Sure.
League.
With that being said, I was going to ask you, I don't think I ever got a chance to talk to you about Patrick Mahomes and what you thought of the young man, especially now after the deal that he got, signing with Kansas City for 10 years.
He's a very rich man.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, I think I think he's learning. I don't think he reads coverages well yet.
Yeah.
That's because he doesn't really have to, because
That's what I was
he's
gonna
so
say.
good in a broken pocket.
Right.
He's going to get hit. He's going to get hurt, and he's going to be slow. The question is can he sustain this for the next 3, 5, 7 years? Right now he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't think there's any question in that.
Absolutely.
I always look at people who think Lamar Jackson is better, and I said, well, Lamar Jackson's not a very accurate passer. He's got a lot of talent around him.
And he's a playmaker.
He's so good in the open field.
Right.
And people really respect his legs. And the Chiefs, I think, really diagnosed that pretty quickly and said, you know what, we're going to come after you.
Yeah.
We're not going to be afraid of you getting out of the pocket, because most people, have just sat back and let him pick them apart with their tight end. So I think they have a new formula now.
Yeah.
He's very much the same. Running quarterbacks are so dependent on their legs.
Yep.
That they don't read coverages very well.
Yep. And I think what we saw in the first drive there was, like you said, Kansas City was coming out attacking a little bit, but they had some good plays there on Baltimore's side that handed off to different running backs, Ingram, and dump off pass to Snead here and there, which opened things up. So that first drive looked pretty good, but boy, they were quick to make adjustments, and then thereafter, and then the way that offense is for Kansas City, they just rolled with it. I had no doubt in my mind that Kansas City was going to win that game yesterday. Kind of wish I would have bet on it. But
yeah, take the over.
Yeah, nonetheless, well, my friend, amongst sports, tonight is a big night. What we can expect from the first presidential debate between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden. As they say, there's a slew of topics that they'll get to between. Well, they say that Biden will be looking to attack Trump's taxes, as that's been in the news lately, of everything with his federal income taxes for 2016 and 2017. The topic of the Supreme Court, the idea of the nominee for the seat, and obviously, too, we talked about it yesterday a little bit with the coronavirus pandemic. So how do you think tonight will go, my friend? Is it going to be worth watching? Is it going to be worth watching the whole thing or bits and pieces?
I think it'll be worth watching. It's two old men. One who's got a lot of questions about his mental faculties, and the other one, you're just never quite sure what he's going to say anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that'll be fun. But what both of these guys are going to try to do is win one moment that resonates. And I only said that as many as 30% of the population is undecided. I find that shocking.
I do too.
I find that shocking. And I think that's a big reason why Joe Biden's not campaigning. I think that's why he's shutting it down at 9:30 every morning. I really think it's part of they're just saving his energy, because voters have decided. Now I guess it depends on how these end up.
Oh, Galen. Yep, we lost you there for a second, partner. You still there?
Oh, okay. I just wonder how they're going to mail it out. How that's going to. I think that'll be the deciding factor in this election.
Oh,
whether
do you?
they're ballot or not.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'll be a close election. I think Biden will win the popular vote maybe by 2.5, 3 million votes. But the Electoral College will be very, very close.
Yeah.
I think it'll be as close as it was with Hillary in some of these states. I don't see why it would be any different.
Yeah.
So and the polls are the polls. I don't really believe them.
No.
So I believed him in 2016, and I remember Larry and Robert were like, "No way, Trump's going to win." I'm like, I don't see it, and then it was pretty obviously that Trump won every state that he wasn't supposed to win.
Right. Right.
So other swing states. So we'll see.
Yeah.
He may win in a landslide. I don't think Biden can win in an electoral college landslide. Trump is now leading in Florida. That's not even close anymore. So it's almost like Biden's given up on Florida, which I find is a little shocking.
Yeah. As an entertainer, President Donald Trump, knowing what needs to be done prior to something like this, as quoted, saying, so Trump's lowering the expectations of former vice president. As it's been mentioned here that Trump insisted that his opponent be drug tested, indicating without evidence that he believes any strong showing by Biden will result of a performance enhancer. Saying, quote, Joe Biden just announced that he will not agree to a drug test, as President Trump tweeted on Monday.
I think
that's funny.
I think that's a perfect example of how Donald Trump brings you to his level.
Yep.
Right? Absolutely. He obviously said that jokingly.
Yep.
Right? And then some reporter feels compelled to ask about it. And in that situation, Trump wins.
Yep.
Because in the back of your mind, wow, I wonder maybe he got a B12 shot, or maybe he got some kind of a cocktail to get him up in the morning. And again, he wins. I mean, because you legitimize his throwaway comment by just asking the question.
Well, that's just it.
Never answered.
That's just it. And in that way, he says something like that, then it legitimizes it by somebody taking that so serious and running rampant. And then you get a majority of people that are like, any good showing by Biden, they'll be like, well, he was on performance enhancing B shots. What's the one Joe Rogan takes?
B12.
The Alpha Brain, that one. The Alpha Brain. By On It, there's something like it, and it's why I brought it up, because, like you said, it's like they're coming up to the prize fight, and at the weigh-in, Trump is getting them fired up, and like you said, brought him to his level in a way. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to recapping everything tomorrow with the show and seeing how things play out with it. I think you're right. I think the idea that them saying that 30% of the country is undecided, I think, is a little farce. I don't think this is going to swing anything either. I think this is more of like just a showing of being like, okay, let's see how this plays out between these two guys. I think that's really it. And like you said, there's some certain topics, whether it be the coronavirus, whether it be his taxes, or whether it be the Supreme Court, or whether it be the mental health of Biden. Either way, it's drummed up to make some good television. And I think after everything in 2020, you think this is going to get great viewership, my friend?
Oh yeah. I think the last debates, Trump and Hillary were incredibly high, and I think you can expect the same, because people are going to watch. And they're going to watch for their guy to do well. Maybe sometimes the best part is watching the talking heads come out and say who won. And no matter what, whatever side they represent, their side always wins. So I always find that kind of funny. But again, all they're looking for is one moment.
Yep.
Either for the other guy to fail. It's usually not one moment that you do really well. We'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I don't take any of this stuff really serious. I just don't.
Yeah.
So.
I don't either. I'm right there with you on
I
that.
look at it and say, I wish Congress would do their job instead of making the president do all these executive orders.
Yeah.
I think that would be much better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, moving on a little bit, partner, just to the start of Major League Baseball playoffs today. We got my Cleveland Indians against the Yankees. We mentioned the Tampa Bay Rays against the Toronto Blue Jays. And then some other notables like your San Diego Padres taking on the Cardinals. I was going to say with the start of tonight, just real quick, with the playoffs, speculation, and I know it's early, but who do you see maybe actually making it at least to the championship series in both leagues, the American Championship and the National League Championship?
Well, I think the Rays will be there because the Blue Jays, if this was a legitimate season, they would not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They don't have the pitching staff. Tampa just figures out stuff like this.
Yeah.
They'll be good in a short series.
Yeah.
They have so much depth at the pitching staff. They're accustomed to doing this, starter by committee kind of a thing that it'll take because of the way they're playing, the number of games in a row and things like that. I think they'll figure it out. In the other AL teams, I think will be the. I really like the Indians. I think they're playing pretty well.
Yeah.
I like the Twins, and then it's a toss-up between. Maybe the Astros could be there, but they're playing one another. I don't think the A's will make it.
No.
So yeah, that would be it. That would be it. I think the Yankees will be there.
Yeah.
So and then in the National League, you can't. The way they have it set up is the Padres and the Dodgers play each other, and so that they're going to hurt each other. And the Dodgers are by far and away the best team in Major League Baseball.
Far and away, yep, absolutely.
They're the class of the National League.
Yep.
I think they're the class of baseball. I mean, their winning percentage is crazy good.
Yeah.
So I like the Dodgers out of the National League, and then we'll see, unless they really get into trouble with their bullpen or something.
Yeah. My friend, real quick, I'm trying to figure out here the expectations of what they're doing. So right now, the idea of what we were talking about, bubble and all this, but they are playing at an empty stadium. So, like, for example, with the Indians, they're hosting the New York Yankees to an empty stadium in Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Is it thereafter that they're looking to try to adopt something? I'm still trying to figure out what they are planning.
The league championship series is when the bubble starts.
Does that feel idiotic in some way? Like, if you're already doing this, doesn't it feel like you could just get away with just keeping it a regular?
Again, you're assuming there's any logic in any of it.
Yeah, you're right. I have a problem doing that with society.
There's so much you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many stupid things that they're doing. It's like at a high school game, you're not allowed to shake your opponent's hand after the game, but you could spit on and sweat on the entire game and tackle each other. Again, it makes no sense. I mean, there's no logic here. You can't put logic into something that doesn't exist.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
So,
and that's what I was trying to do with this.
Heck knows. Who the heck knows?
Well, on the note of logical things, it's important to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood because it does help so many. And then on that change of conversation, my friend, where will the Bloodmobile be at today?
Hey, today we're going to be at Planet Fitness right there on Southwest 24th.
Okay.
And also be out at the Villages. But please just come by the Donor Center at 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Make an appointment. You can visit lifesouth.org or call us at 622-3544. And please just get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood.
Has there been a little bit better turnout here this last week and a half with weather a little bit better here and there? I know it was a little lousy there Sunday, Monday, but I was going to say, is the supply getting a little bit better here and there?
Yeah, it sure is, actually. We're still in critical need of platelets and type O, but we are hopefully, usually this is the time of the year where we have lots and lots of blood, actually.
Yeah.
Because we're coming off of the heels of Dragon Con.
Right.
But this year, with the weather and with coronavirus, we just don't have the same blood drive. So, yeah, please just, again, donate blood.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, we appreciate it. And, buddy, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow after we see what happens tonight with the presidential debate. We'll have a little bit to talk about tomorrow. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
Sure will. Sure will, man.
And we'll see what happens there after the first game of the shortened series here with this wild card for Major League Baseball. But get safe where you're going, my friend, and we appreciate it. We'll look forward to talking at you tomorrow.
All right. Be good. Thank you.
Got it, buddy. More AM Ocala Live coming back as we make our way to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. This segment's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. I'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street in Ocala, where they offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Any questions on what they've been doing now with the handling of COVID-19 and what it means for them with Phase 3? They encourage you. Give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262 for Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, as well as Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated Penn Flooring, serving Marion County for well over 30 years. Every bit of their success is to their unrivaled customer service. Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company that's dedicated to finding the best solution for all of your flooring needs with the experience in, that's right, commercial and residential fields. And you can find them at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, 352-351-3420. That's 351-3420. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center and Penn Flooring. More AM Ocala Live coming your way when we come back. Stay tuned. WOCA The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The first presidential debates tonight in Cleveland. President Trump and Joe Biden taking questions from Fox News Sunday host Chris Wallace.
The candidates will have no pre-debate handshake. They'll be socially distanced, not wearing masks, and there will be a limited audience of less than 100 people as they get ready for the Chris Wallace topics, the candidates' records, the Supreme Court, the coronavirus, the economy, race and violence in America, and the integrity of the election.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. More than 1 million coronavirus deaths are now reported worldwide.
The World Health Organization's Emergencies Director Mike Ryan says even 1 million is likely an undercount.
The numbers that are currently reported probably represent an underestimate of those individuals who have either contracted COVID-19 or who have died as a cause of it.
Vice President Mike Pence saying the U.S. should expect cases to rise in the days ahead.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Fox News Channel. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time, camellia lovers, to be thinking about Bob Wines for this year's camellias. Believe it or not, some camellias are budded and blooming already. Come take a look. Bob has smaller number 1 size camellias, regularly $29.99 for just $12.99. All the way up to its famous heirloom camellias. These gorgeous beauties that Bob Wines is famous for, you get 2 for $99.99. Be sure to check out the Azalea Truckload Sale. Dwarf Ever Blooming Red Ruffles, still just $3.99. But they have some larger azaleas regularly selling for $19.99, this week for $7.99. Fruit tree sale too, starting with papaya, only $9.99, all the way up to avocado, guava, and much more in the big number 5 size at just $99.99. So come on over. Early in the day for the best selection, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens is on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
I'm back. That's right, Tom Schmidt's back on WOCA with a show called Ocala Talks. We'll talk about everything Ocala and surrounding areas, plus a little bit of sports as well. Every weekday, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12, Tom Schmidt's with Ocala Talks, right here on WOCA, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Check out Tom starting October 1st. That's Thursday.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Wow, have you seen the truckload sale event on azaleas this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens? This is one of the best deals of the year on everybody's favorites. Dwarf, ever-blooming, red ruffle azaleas, just $3.99. The taller semi-dwarfs, they're just $4.99. And a whole host of other bigger azaleas that we're selling for $19.99, they're just $7.99. And don't forget those veggies. More than you ever thought in one place, all the way from arugula to zucchini, just $3.99 in the famous Bob Wine's Jumbo 4-pack. Everybody wants fall garden mums, and Bob has them. 6 or 7 different colors. You get 6 for just $29.99. Now check the ad, then hurry on over to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4:30 in the same blooming place since 1952.
The Centers and Marion County's Children's Alliance are holding a drive through a recovery resource event at the Centers on September 26th from 10 to 1. Get recovery in a bag for Recovery Month.
Need help at home? On Wednesday, September 30th at 8:50 a.m., Jim Haskins with Touching Hearts at Home will be my guest. You will learn how the Compassionate Care team will help with personal care, Alzheimer's dementia care, housekeeping, meal prep, and transportation. Of course, Touching Hearts at Home follows all the CDC and state guidelines for COVID-19. Again, that's Wednesday the 30th at 8:50 a.m. It's information you can use from Touching Hearts at Home and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
On September 29th at 10:30 a.m., I will have guests from the College of Central Florida telling our listeners that the College of Central Florida is offering scholarships for short-term, in-demand programs intended to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may qualify to attend with no tuition cost. Again, that's the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Education news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. WOCA.
Ocala. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be humid with clouds and a little sunshine. Look for a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 86 to 90. Partly cloudy and humid tonight with a couple of showers. Low 67 to 73. Then a less humid day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 79 to 83. Mostly sunny and pleasant Thursday. High 80 to 84. Another nice day Friday with sun and some clouds and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
WOCA.
Ocala.
Welcome back to the show, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, AM Ocala Live. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin, as we say good morning to you. As we just wrapped up with Life South Community Blood Centers in Galen, getting out there, give the gift of life and donate blood, as they'll be at the Planet Fitness, as well as the Walmart in the Villages. But they say, as you do, come by, make an appointment, 622-3544. Visit them on the Boulevard, make an appointment to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood, as that's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, as well as Penn Flooring. For that segment, as we were discussing a little bit of the Tampa Bay Lightning and their incredible season. I mean, just with everything that's going on, and like we said, bittersweet that in the way, shape, or form that wasn't able to be, here in Tampa at the arena and being able to have it be done in front of fans. But nonetheless, as everybody got to watch it, the appreciation's still there, as just incredible. And like we said, the next season gets started, I think, the end of this month. Well, October, starting on Thursday, and then the end of October to begin the new season in November. So bittersweet, but enjoy it for a short period of time and then back out to it. But just incredible nonetheless. And like Galen kind of said, we'll see how history writes it. If there'll be an asterisk, or if it'll just go down as history as an interesting time, and everything else that was going on at the same time with COVID-19 and everything else. They still played their regular season and then the full playoffs. So, but absolute congratulations to them. Just incredible. As we're moving on with our show now, like we said, 8:41, moving on before the top of the 9 o'clock hour. As we mentioned, presidential debate, as that comes in for tonight, as everybody's looking forward to that. What to expect from the first presidential debate is what's going to be interesting, as some things to discuss. Trump's taxes, maybe the Supreme Court, and of course, the coronavirus pandemic, and we'll be discussing that here in a little bit. But first, it is time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. And as we mentioned, the first debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden takes place tonight in Cleveland. Florida Senator Rick Scott thinks President Donald Trump will focus on the country's economic performance.
And he's going to get to brag about what he's done the last 4 years. I think that's how the debate's going to go. I think Joe Biden's going to have a very difficult time explaining his past.
As Scott predicts, President Trump will also bring up Biden's son, Hunter. Fort Lauderdale's mayor is promising to address what he calls a concerning sight after the governor announced last week that the bars could reopen. Bars in Fort Lauderdale were packed over the weekend, and there were few signs of social distancing. Mayor Dean Tantrails says it's like a dam had been unleashed, and he promises changes are coming. Florida is reporting fewer than 1,000 new coronavirus cases as the state moves into phase 3 of reopening. The Department of Health announced 738 new COVID-19 infections yesterday, along with 5 new resident deaths. It says both increases are the lowest that Florida has seen in months. It's still September, but Floridians are already voting in the November election.
More than 5 million vote-by-mail ballots have been requested in Florida. Nearly 7,500 have already been returned. Democrats hold the early lead, returning about 3,600 ballots compared to 2,300 for Republicans. In Florida, ballots must be received by a local elections office no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day, so the post office suggests mailing it at least 1 week ahead. I'm Rick Hoschel.
State wildlife officers are warning residents in Seminole County to keep a close eye on their pets after a dog was killed by a bear in Sanford. The Florida Wildlife Commission is reminding pet owners to keep dogs on leashes and others indoors as often as possible. As more bears have been seen in the area in recent weeks, residents should also make sure that their outdoor trash cans and receptacles are secured, as they do attract bears. Forecasters are tracking a disturbance in northwest Caribbean that could become the next named storm. It's been given a 30% chance of developing into a tropical depression over the next 5 days. It's too soon to tell the system would affect Florida. It says here former Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale is undergoing a psychological evaluation at Broward Health Medical Center after barricading himself in Fort Lauderdale's home. His wife is caught on body cam footage telling the police that she had him cock one of many guns in the house and went inside his office when she went outside.
I saw him open the blinds in the front yard, and then he closed them, and then I heard what I thought was a gunshot.
Police were able to talk to Parscale out of the home where he was taken to the hospital for the evaluation. As President Trump's campaign says it's ready to support Parscale in any way possible. As Universal Orlando Resort is introducing what it calls Florida's fastest and tallest launch coaster. Riders of the Jurassic World Velocicoaster will be launched over 150 feet into the air and reach speeds of nearly 70 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. The dinosaur-themed ride will open at Universal's Island of Adventure next year. And in sports, like we mentioned, the Tampa Bay Lightning are celebrating their second ever Stanley Cup title. Blake Coleman and Braden Point scored as the Bolts beat the Dallas Stars 2-0 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton. Tampa Bay defenseman Victor Hedman says it's a very, very special moment.
So many emotions, it's not going to be able to, it's going to take months, maybe for it to sink in, but we're going to be champions forever. We're going to be on that cup, forever.
As the Lightning earned their first cup back in 2004, and now this cup here in this season of 2020. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We'll take a short little break. We'll be back right after this. More AM Ocala Live coming your way.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be humid with clouds and a little sunshine. Look for a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 86 to 90. Partly cloudy and humid tonight with a couple of showers. Low 67 to 73. Then a less humid day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 79 to 83. Mostly sunny and pleasant Thursday. High 80 to 84. Another nice day Friday with sun and some clouds and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
WOCA. Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time, camellia lovers, to be thinking about Bob Wines for this year's camellias. Believe it or not, some camellias are budded and blooming already. Come take a look. Bob has smaller number 1 size camellias, regularly $29.99 for just $12.99. All the way up to its famous heirloom camellias. These gorgeous beauties that Bob Wines is famous for, you get 2 for $99.99. Be sure to check out the Azalea Truckload Sale. Dwarf Ever Blooming Red Ruffles, still just $3.99. But they have some larger azaleas regularly selling for $19.99, this week for $7.99. Fruit tree sale too, starting with papaya, only $9.99, all the way up to avocado, guava, and much more in the big number 5 size at just $99.99. So come on over. Early in the day for the best selection, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens is on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
To the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin, as we say good morning to you. As we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, 8:51, 9 minutes before the top of the 9 o'clock hour as we're rolling on through here. As it's stayed pretty mild this morning, still 73 degrees out there, lots of humidity. As we see some breaks in the clouds there, some blue sky up there as it's partly cloudy right now with an expectation of showers and thunderstorms, as they say, later today, mainly after 4 p.m., high near 85 degrees. And with that, lots of rain, chance of rain 80% with new rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch possible. That's going to move into tonight. Showers and thunderstorms before 11 p.m. and then a slight chance of showers between 11 p.m. and as late as 1 a.m. However, the low drops tonight, low around 61. We'll see a west wind that'll be a little bit breezy as it becomes northwest after midnight. Chance of rain tonight is 80% and could bring quite a bit of rain. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible or more with the thunderstorms. And then that wakes us up into Wednesday, the last day of September, with sunny skies and highs in the upper 70s, not quite 80. as we see a north wind around 7 to 10 miles an hour and mostly clear and beautiful tomorrow. Which means, though, because it's clear, it's going to get cool. Your Wednesday night low, 58 degrees. As all I'm thinking about is having the windows open and that big old blanket on. That sounds incredible. That's a great temperature to go golfing, too. I know a lot of people are like, nope, it's got to be 80s. 60s in bed, as long as it's dry. That's the important thing. As we're moving along with our show, as we say good morning to you, obviously tonight's big news with what to expect from the first presidential debate is Donald Trump and Joe Biden will square off this Tuesday night in their first presidential debate. They say a matchup with the potential to change the race's trajectory, which is an interesting tidbit on it. And the focus will be on the president's influence of the Supreme Court and his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, and the bombshell news report detailing his years of tax avoidance as they consider. Tuesday's face-off is the first of 3 debates between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden, with the idea of this taking place at the Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and will be moderated by Fox's News' Chris Wallace. Biden's response was succinct Sunday when asked how he planned to win against Trump. He said, quote, just tell the truth. Now, the president, meanwhile, has for weeks portrayed Biden as lacking mental acuity. It says Trump's lowering of expectations for the former vice president could backfire, but maybe. This is more recently, Trump insisted that the opponent be drug tested, indicating without evidence that he believes any strong showing by Biden will result of a performance enhancer. Saying, quote, Joe Biden just announced that he will not agree to a drug test. Gee, I wonder why, said Trump as he tweeted on Monday. Now, one of the topics also is the idea that the Democrats will take to Trump's taxes. Says at the debate, Trump will be on the defensive after a New York Times report revealed his substantial financial losses as a businessman that showed he just paid $750 in federal income tax in 2016 and 2017, and nothing in all in other years. But Trump labeled the report fake news, saying, quote, I paid many millions in dollars in taxes, and like everyone else, to depreciation to tax credits, as he tweeted on Monday. But Trump has resisted releasing his tax returns, as has been practiced for presidential candidates throughout modern history. But Biden campaign seized on the Times findings as further evidence that the president doesn't understand the struggles of everyday Americans, although quickly released a digital ad showing thousands of dollars in annual tax burdens of teachers, firefighters, nurses, as a contrast to the $750 in payments now associated with Donald Trump. Now, Biden has sought to push a Scranton versus Park Avenue narrative in which Biden has working class credentials while Trump is a lead and out of touch. One of the other big topics is the idea of the Supreme Court. The makeup of the Supreme Court will be another major topic this Tuesday. Trump on Saturday announced Amy Coney Barrett as his nominee to the Supreme Court, filing the seat left vacant by Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. It says Barrett is Trump's third appointee to the high court, and the president's stacking of the federal bench in his first term has been a selling point to conservative voters. If confirmed, Barrett would weigh the Supreme Court with conservatives 6-3, and Trump's nominees could influence key decisions for a generation. As they mentioned, Trump said Barrett would help shape decisions on gun rights, religious liberty, and public safety. Biden stressed that her addition to the Supreme Court would threaten American health care, particularly protections on pre-existing conditions. So the Supreme Court is set to hear a case on the Affordable Care Act just after Election Day. As other Democrats have, Biden at the debate is expected to take issue with the Senate Republicans ramming through a Supreme Court confirmation in an election year. Biden and others in his party have portrayed Republicans as hypocrites because in 2016 they blocked President Barack Obama's Supreme Court nominee, saying Merrick Garland, who was appointed too soon before an election. The coronavirus pandemic is the other big one. In Ginsburg's death and subsequent Supreme Court vacancy at the Times report on Trump's tax history come against the backdrop of a coronavirus pandemic still coming across the country. So the country has seen more than what they consider to be 205,000 deaths linked to the virus, a figure Trump avoids acknowledging. It says inexplicably linked public health and economic crisis show few signs of abating, though Trump has promised a safe and effective vaccine is coming soon. Public polls show flagging confidence in rushed vaccine, and Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris said they trust science, but not Trump. On the eve of the debate, Trump held a White House news conference on COVID-19 testing as he announced his administration would distribute 150 million rapid diagnostic tests around the country. Biden has linked the country's struggle with controlling the spread to what he says is Trump's failure of leadership. In his Democratic National Convention speech, the former vice president said part of his plan would be to impose a national mask mandate as he criticized Trump for not modeling mitigation measures as the president continues to hold massive campaign rallies where attendees aren't socially distancing and largely do not wear face masks. Now, Trump has reportedly mocked Biden for wearing a face mask, and the idea that comes from where we're at with things within the coronavirus. As such other things as they wrap up is in the study and debate style is as the debate will also is also expected to focus on other topics. It says the Trump and Biden records, the economy, race, and violence in our cities, and integrity of election. Tuesday's showdown, where Trump and Biden will be at the podiums and will not wear masks, will additionally be a study in style. Biden is not known as a skilled debater, while Trump claims he is not doing any formal preparation. During the Democratic primaries, Biden often stopped mid-sentence or cut himself off before his time was up, and he failed to quickly defend himself against attacks lobbed by opponents. During the 2016 debates against Hillary Clinton, frequently interrupted her, and in one case where both candidates were able to roam the stage, physically looming behind her. The president and his allies have honed in on Biden's son Hunter for overseas business dealings, with the presented conflicts of interest during Biden's time as vice president to Barack Obama. And Trump says he may seek to catch Biden off guard by interesting or insulting some family members. As Trump and Biden take the stage, the election season is already underway, and early voting has begun with mail-in ballots that have been sent out. So there you go, a little preface for what's tonight, as sounds like a sporting event, doesn't it? Crazy nonetheless. AM Ocala Live, more coming your way. In the Garden with Carol Ann Baldwin next on AM Ocala Live. Back after this.
Hold their first debate tonight in Cleveland. Fox